Don in London, hello, it's Friday 13th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my behaviour, trying to be perfect, and never so. And if it wasn't drinking to find conviviality, it would be drinking to take the edge off, and then drinking because I became dependent, and then drinking because I was addicted. So maybe there was a logical order in all of this, but what it did for me, drink, it took away those horrible feelings of fear, putting on a brave face, and wondering why my ego was running riot, or self-obsession. And, the difficulty with addiction is we don't know we're there till we're there. So along the way, we are defiant and stubborn, and we think we know it all, and we don't. And the trouble is, when does ignorance become knowledge, and when does ignorance then become denial? And the answer is, denial is a natural process of I can't believe it. And it can go on for a long time, because we try cope with what we're doing. And coping strategies over the years and years of coping, means that we never get out of coping and into living, probably. So coping strategies or coping needs or processes are probably very essential when we have grief-stricken moments in our lives where people die, where relationships end, where partnerships don't work out, where life just doesn't work out, and we have those can't believe it moments. So denial is a very useful process to chop down unacceptable truth into manageable bits. And the trouble with alcohol is it takes out it makes everything unmanageable, and there are no manageable bits because we never get round to dealing with it. So drink as a coping strategy led to my addiction. How simple was that? But you know what? It took 35 years to realise just how awful life could be. Isolated, excluded, homeless, all the horrors that can go with being able to drink ourselves to a point of near death. And then, having got to near death, we wish it so. So my moment of clarity was simply, it can't get any worse, can it? But it did. Other things happened. And that was because I needed to find a way out of my conundrum. And I realised, finally, that I couldn't do it on my own. So the gift these days, for me, of not trying to do everything on my own is simply inclusion, being a part of, and understanding how to be useful on a daily basis. And it can be through work or friendship or fellowship. And what keeps me sober mostly is making the right choice in the day. How do I get there? Very simple. I go here, experience strength and hope from others in the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't speak for AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, never want to, because it's full of unique, authentic people who can speak for themselves. But I share a lot about the literature of AA, and I share about how experience, strength and hope makes my day work. And yesterday, I forgot that on Wednesday night when somebody asked, will you do a chair for me down at World's End at 6:30, I only remembered about mid-afternoon that I'd actually made this commitment. And my head was saying, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this. It's raining, it's horrible, I don't feel well, and I wasn't well. But I put my waterproofs on and went. And it was good, because I saw people who I know, and I saw people who I am coming to know, and I saw new people who were making an effort to find out what recovery is all about. So doing service is important to me. Yeah, it's as important as sobriety, unity, service and recovery, all part of fellowship. And that is what it is, fellowship. And to explain what it is, there is a statement of intent which is shared at every meeting I go to, and it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And last night's meeting, where that is shared at the beginning, and then I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about? Because you can't really prepare for a fellowship share as such. It's what's occurring in the moment, what's happening for us now. And it was all about expectations. And my expectation on a daily basis is to start the scorecard at the beginning of the day, emotional, physical and spiritual, at 0, and then see how the day goes. And if the scorecard improves by 1 point on any of those things, probably my day is working reasonably well. So it's not to be the best anymore, it's not to be perfect, it's just to be who I am today. And as I commented on Facebook, I didn't know where I was this morning. I didn't know whether it was nighttime or daytime. That's partly the hours have gone to darkness here in London. It's the season of winter and November. Anyway, in the Daily Reflections book, this is a daily reflection of the 12 steps and 12 traditions of AA. 12 steps of open, honest, willing behaviour changing, and 12 traditions of holding the fellowship together for unity, service and recovery, service being a key point. The more we give, the more likely it is that we have space to receive. Yeah, we need gaps inside ourselves these days, rather than a gnawing feeling of fear. So, daily reflections, predominantly about the 12 steps of action to change attitude and behaviour. And this month is all about step 11, which reads: sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God, all good conscience, as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. And the reading today is all about not being selfish and not praying for our own ends. And it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or not. The sentiment is so powerful. It's not about me today. And it says, looking outward, we ask especially for freedom from self-will and are careful to make no requests for ourselves personally. We may ask for ourselves. However, if others will be helped, we are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends. As an active alcoholic, I allowed selfishness to run rampant in my life, and I didn't know how selfish I was until I realised my dependence and then my addiction. I was so attached to my drinking and other selfish habits that people and moral principles came second. Now when I pray for the good of others rather than say my own selfish ends, I practice a discipline in letting go of selfish attachments, caring for my fellows and preparing for the day when I will be required to let go of all earthly attachments. We come in with nothing and we go out with nothing except what's in our heads. And we're very lucky if we've actually had some wisdom along the way. So, sharing wisdom or getting wisdom, experience, strength and hope. When the fuel tank has room in it for more, then we're okay. And we need to keep on dispatching those things which aren't very helpful to us. Anyway, as in Bill sees it, this book has many pages a day as you need to find your right-sized head. It says Satisfactions of Right Living on page 254. How wonderful is the feeling that we do not have to be specially distinguished among our fellows in order to be useful and profoundly happy. Not many of us can be leaders of prominence, nor do we wish to be. Service gladly rendered, obligations squarely met, troubles well accepted, or solved with God's help, all good conscience. The knowledge that at home or in the world outside we are partners in a common effort. The fact that in God's sight all human beings are important. The proof that love freely given brings a full return. The certainty that we are no longer isolated and alone in self-constructed prisons. The surety we can fit and belong in God's scheme of things, all good conscience. These are the satisfactions of right living, for which no pomp and circumstance, no heap of material possessions could possibly substitute. And as I say at the end of these videos, I need the serenity prayer to acceptance often. So to God or to good conscience, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is simply for today.